Hi, what's up? It's been a while. Apparently, these are good. I disagree, especially with the previous ones, because I am just objectively a better person now. But, okay. This is a really good community to exploit for money. I'm just gonna be blunt with you. I have been touching on this sort of stuff recently. I'm checking my blinds, sneaky. I have been touching on this sort of stuff recently, but I've been playing a character, which is my other Sona counter. So, I'm gonna be me. I am me. Hi. And I'm gonna try doing this again, and we'll see how it goes, because apparently this is good. Now, my quest to be relevant and to realize that Bikini Body did very well, I have pursued sex once again in the form of the Hey Juicy meme. I was gonna make one of these, and I'm like, nah. Anyway, as I said, the center point of Bikini Body was sex, and even more so, the center point for this is sex. Humans are naturally compelled by sex. That's just how it works. That's just a fact, because if humans weren't, then nobody would make babies. That's just how it is. Already this is getting kind of vulgar, but just because I need to be so blatant with some of my points, I'm trying to be more concise. Vulgar warning on this video. It's gonna get very raunchy. It's gonna get very PG-13 into the R category. Into the R category. Into the 18 and up category. Maybe not 18 and up because I'm not 18, so I shouldn't be putting that kind of warning on there, but you know, just like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'll stick with the 13 and up, like what everyone's been doing right now, which that makes sense because at least in my state, at age 12, we go through the family life unit, which if you don't know what that means, that's the how babies are made unit. Also, for nearly every video that I'm gonna be giving my opinion that no one asked for, welcome to the internet, that's how it works. Almost all of them have flashing lights, so if you're sensitive to that, just don't watch this entire video. Anyway, I think that is all for now, so let's try to redeem myself.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy, come on pop them titties bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy. Go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy. Go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy. Go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy. Go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy.
Welcome to Lucy's triggering topic of the day. Today we have country humans. I view country humans as dollar store Hitalia, in which the case is all storytelling elements have nearly been lost. I heard some things where it's like, oh, they have bandages just like when they go through a war. Nearly every country in the world has been in a war at some point in their history. But that's just one. Frankly, I don't understand it. I am not willing to go through and research it, so forgive me for that. It simply does not interest me. Listen, I take European history. I just came out of the World War II unit into the Cold War. I don't understand. I actually have notes. I wrote down bullet points. I have the hair. Why is their hair like that? Is there any reasoning behind it? The reason we're going into this is because of what I've heard the nature of country humans. Which usually there's a lot of thought put into the outfits and their features. So, I'm a little confused. Why do they have crowns? They're not really a leader of anything. They represent the entire country, so it's not like a prime minister or anything. So, I don't understand that. Why does Germany have teeth? I mean, I love those kind of teeth, but there's not really, it's kind of unwarranted in this case. It makes Germany seem a lot more predatory, which in modern day context is very presumptuous, to put it lightly. Why are they turning into monsters? There's also satanic and biblical references. What does that mean? Since Poland is the more submissive one, I don't like that because that makes me think of very dark stuff. Germany in World War II used Poland as storage, if you know what I mean. One of my notes says no titties. It's just they're both dudes. And just the nature of the video, I guess. I didn't think I'd write down no titties today. Speaking of titties, men do have titties, and there's none. It is flat. So, dimension, please. Some guys have movies. I say this because they were drawn with the attention of being muscular, and they are not, there is no dimension, so they do not come off as muscular. If there's like no fat, no muscle, then it's flat. Then there's nothing there.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. K-U-I-C-Y.
I did not recognize them at first, but apparently this is Nazi Germany. Ugh! I do not inherently have an issue with Nazi Germany being betrayed. It's an anthropomorphic thing. However, I do take issue with it being supposedly glorified with a song that's originally about tits and with an emo haircut. You can do it, just be careful with it. I don't want to sit here and just mope about how bad it is and how there's so many things wrong with what's happening, but this topic has already been talking to the ground, so I want to try to not do that, and I want to try to go more on the everything else wrong with it, other than the big obvious reasons that it could go wrong. Because who knows, some genius out there might be able to do this right, but so far, we don't have that. So what I wrote down is, you can't ignore the source material, which is a woman encouraging other women to quote-unquote shake your tits. So, and this is ignoring the fact that we're talking about an anthropomorphic landmass. Or not even that, because it's Nazi Germany. That's a political party! Also notice, like, I'm not sure why these are being betrayed with men, because it's inherently feminine. Do you want to put a spin on it and make it work with, like, I imagine, like, I don't know if they cross-dress, if it's, like, drag or something, if you can make it work, or if it's, like, a guy talking to a girl. Everything I just said has something feminine involved, which proves my point. I don't understand the hair. It just comes in and out. Consistent, please. Also, all the background colors and a lot of the accent stuff is, like, neon, but then the characters themselves is muted. So, decide, are you gonna have a muted palette or are you gonna go with a neon palette? Is this really a problem before the drop? Because then it fixes itself, it goes to a similar red color, which pink is technically red, but it has more value than the other colors on there. So it's distracting. And there's also the quote-unquote airbrush shading. It just looks really flat. It's not, there's no visual interest. Just bluntly put, it does not look good.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy.
I started this by clapping again. I think any person can see weep boobs are not great. When you draw like that, it looks like you have two watermelons up your shirt, and that's it. It looks like you're trying to compensate for boobs you don't have. I did check like one other video, maybe two, to see if this character was drawn consistently like this or if it was just a joke, because this was labeled as a part of my language shitpost. But no! This is consistent! So obviously, the boobs need to drop. Unless there's something holding it up. But still, they're not gonna be that much like two balls. They're teardrops. They're fat. They're not static. Unless they got a boob job. Also, the fold on the top of the shirt, that's not how clothes folds over each other. You're drawing it like cleavage, which that's not how clothes act. If you just don't want to draw like, I don't want to draw clothing folds because I want simpler style. A line. Just draw a line. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need, like, it's not folding over itself. It's just, it's so jaunting. It's so strikingly different. It's just, boobs!
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, tits, big juicy, juicy.
Alright, first and foremost, supposedly this is a fan character. It is Ruby from Steven Universe, but it's like their own original Ruby, I guess. Real quickly, this is gonna be more universal. Let's talk about boob physics. Just straight up. The best way to think of them is like water balloons. So it's like how that bobs up and down. There's very few times I've seen like correct breast physics. Like it's either much too little or it's completely over the top unrealistic. But there is a middle ground where it is realistic because they're balls of fat on your chest. Especially if the character is not wearing a bra or any sort of undergarment, those things are gonna be bouncing around a lot. That's just the truth. So that's why the little jiggle on the breasts here kind of confused me a little bit. Because with how they're drawn, they're going out more, which means that they're bigger, so you would expect a little bit more, but I guess not. It also comes off as more as an innocent video, just like a more fun kind of video, I guess, especially with the background with the... So then just them actually quote-unquote shaking their tits is just a little bit jarring and unfitting. And a little bit uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than it would have been, because it kind of breaks the flow of it. And I don't think that was on purpose, which is why I call it out as an issue.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy, come on pop them titties bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Hey, you, I see.
My retina's dog. Speeding it up probably didn't help, but... Okay, listen, juicy. That can be described as organs. Yes, I understand. But you still can't ignore the source material. Listen, I am a connoisseur of this. I am a connoisseur of using violence and gore in a sexual context in order to create discomfort. But it is a very delicate science, and even I don't know if I have it down, which I hope to share soon when my story becomes a novel. And it's like anyone can have their original intentions of what they were trying to do, but they can still fail at it. And you did. To be blunt, you did. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, you didn't do it. Especially around the shake your tits. Because there are no tits. And you turned it around and away. There's just so much nothing. You know, the entire video, there's so much nothing except pain in my retinas from the flashing. Which, flashing lights are usually used as overwhelming the senses. Which could work for overwhelming a character, creating a feeling of chaos. But these are just thrown as like, I got nothing, just hurt their eyes. We'll start seeing stuff and fill in the empty space on their own because their eyes are so jacked up. So yeah, use that sparingly, I would say.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy, come on pop them titties bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy. Go ahead big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Go ahead big juicy, juicy, shake your tits, big juicy, juicy. Hey, I
think I have a simple idea for this video on many of the videos that I have reviewed and will. Don't make it. What I mean by that is that it feels like people are shoving plots into this video, into this clip of music known as Hey Juicy now, for the sake of relevancy, which I can understand, which is very important in a brand. I don't think most of these people are trying to establish themselves as a brand, though. Usually it's not very business-oriented, so screw that, but it just does not work with the original source material. Because I don't mean this in too rude of a way, it's a shallow song, there's not much to it, it's simple. Shake your tits. It's very simple. So you can't have this edgy stuff. I'm guessing it has something to do with desire or something because it was reaching out for someone else's necklace. That's what I'm going off of. That's what the series is going to become. Me, my galaxy brain looking into stuff that really means nothing. Because most of the time, they don't know what they're doing with their symbolism. Because if they knew what they were doing with their symbolism, it would make sense. Either it would make sense in that I would understand what's going on, or if they need to elaborate, they will. Because sometimes you have to look into symbolism, and that's okay. Not all symbolism has to jump out at you. But it doesn't make any sense. I see this a lot. It's a silhouette of them. There's just an X over it. Are they invalidating themselves? Are they being invalidated? Then why did they look okay with it? This is starting to turn into a big rant. Anyway, the actual video. The animation's alright. It's fine. I haven't given any compliments to anyone. I haven't given any straight up compliments at all this entire time. Which I kind of apologize for, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, if I have nothing to say about it, if I have no issues with it, that's good. That's inherently a compliment. So yeah, I guess that's my real issue with this, and then other stuff. I just looped this one into a bunch of other issues, so pardon me, but that is me.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. J-U-I-C-Y, 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 J-U-I-C-Y.
I picked this out of empathy. I empathize with you, because I used to do this too. Because I was you. Why I keep addressing the artist as like a you, as directly talking to them, which I don't think I should do. That seems like a bad idea. But I was them. As in, I felt shame in copy and paste, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with copy and paste. There's nothing wrong with duplicating frames. There's nothing wrong with something in your animation remaining the same. What I mean is that, yeah, at least for the first part, it's very staticky. It moves, it flickers, and it distorts itself. So just keep track of the sizes of your frames. Keep looking back at each other with onion skin. Make sure they're all around the same size. And yeah, duplicate, copy, and paste. If something remains the same, it's fine. Like for this, I would have recommended keeping the torso the same because it does not move around that much. And mostly the face the same. And the second part, it's, okay, I guess this is kind of bland. Overall, it's a bland video, but I had empathy.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. J-U-I-C-Y, J-U-I-C-Y.
Okay, I just talked about why this is not good. I woke up less than an hour ago. Hi. Flashing lights, not really needed. Especially since it kind of betrays the more muted soft color palette that you had set up at the beginning. So it just makes it even more not pleasing to look at. Also, the art style looks like it has a lot of potential. I guess the last thing I can really say is that I'll use this as an example. I don't like those big ass ears that like the sides of the face. The only way it anatomically makes sense is on a fennec fox, which I'm guessing is the inspiration for this sort of thing. So like reference that thing if you want to try doing big ears, otherwise I just don't like how it looks. That's me though.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy, come on pop them titties, bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby. Hey Juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. Go ahead, big juicy, juicy, shake it, take big juicy, juicy. J-U-I-C-Y.
Dude, I saw this and I straight up thought it was the non-athletics president from Kill la Kill, because I've been watching that lately. Anyway, oh my god. Anyway, it goes all neon. And like, okay, that's great and dandy. But then you bring in yellow and green for the lettering, which is so just off palette. Like you set something up with the cyan, blue, pink. That's like one of my favorites. So like, choose a palette. Choose what colors you want to do and stick to it. Because like, okay, the magenta, cyan, blue thing, that's an analogous. That's an analogous thing. These are all next to each other in the color wheel. And then green and yellow from the top of the color wheel just drop down to say hello. It's like, no. Also, I want to mention is that what got me to click on this video is that the thumbnail was literally just your back. Also, Americans are cowards. Nipples are not nudity. It's not the genitalia. like YouTube is American, so it's gonna censor that. Also, a lot of it was just text. A lot of it was like a text slideshow at some point, so like more character, please. It was like that bunny logo thing, but more character, please. I didn't realize it sounded like this in the morning. I'm like bordering on counter already without even trying. Excuse me, bitch.
Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy, come on pop them cities bitch. Hey Juicy, hey Juicy baby, hey Juicy, go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy, go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy, go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy, go ahead big juicy juicy, shake it tits big juicy juicy, K-U-I-C-Y.
Just to set the bar for this video, I probably should have shown this first. But there's so much in it that I've decided to save it for last. I'm sorry, this is 20 minutes long. It just happens, I don't know how. The reason I was even considering putting this at the beginning is that if you do not understand what's happening, this is your cue to leave. Why do I do this? Why do we... It is reviews, this is why. This is why anyone does anything. Anyway, the issue is, this girl was holding 2 big condoms. I'm not gonna explain it. I looked through the comments. Only one person even acknowledged this, and it wasn't... And they said, put down those pads. Those ain't pads! Even like straight up, she has that, oh. I'm going to lose all income by saying this, but it has to be said. She has semen on her face. That's just blatantly what happened. How does this get by? How is this allowed? I forgot how many views this one had. I think it was definitely over 1,000. If you want to make sexual content, that is fine by me. I have no inherent issue with that. However, you need to keep it on respected platforms. There's other ways of implying sex other than holding 2 big-ass condoms and having semen on your face. Especially since this song is not straight up a let's get down and dirty song. It is a sexual song, but it's a more fun kind of sexy song. It's a, oh, how scandalous kind of song. And not the actually sex. So anyway, that's the elephant in the room. I bet like, at least like 3 years ago, if anyone else is doing this, is like straight up don't do it. You can do it. You can make this kind of content. That's fine. Just be aware what platform you're putting it on, and therefore what kind of people are going to come in contact with it. So if you're going to put it on YouTube, you gotta keep it more obscure than that. Anyway, that's obvious. Another thing I want to mention is that you need to know how boobs work. Unless they are being pushed together, boobs are not going to be smushed against each other. In that picture, you're just letting them fall, letting them hang out. So they're gonna go apart from each other first. You gotta push them together if you want that to happen, which is not what's happening. So they're not gonna be, no cleavage will be formed. They should be hanging apart. Since this was made in Flip a Clip, it definitely helps. There's like a little bit of a motion blur when she lifted up her hand, which, let's give out some positive energy. Motion blur, congratulations. You know what, this is something I'm deciding to say. This is what I would recommend. Let's hope I don't get people getting the wrong idea, but if you want your character to be a symbol of sex, if that's what you want them to stand for, then that should come out in their design. She doesn't look inherently sexy, which, going off of this video alone, that is the vibe that I get. She's eagerly holding up condoms, so don't make her look like she's taking a PE class. Yes, I am encouraging sexualization, because that is the apparent point. On that lovely note, I think that's a great place to end this god-awful video. I don't know why these do well, but they do, which is why I'm back. And when I say all this about sex and stuff, I speak from an artistic perspective, I speak from a storytelling perspective. I do not speak from perversion, which I hope people do not think that I am, because I sincerely am not. Yes, I'm a minor, but I am allowed to talk about sex in a respectful way, so let me please! And whether people would like to admit it or not, there is a market for it, so I will not shame anyone who wants to cash in on that market. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Please don't crucify me for my opinion. Or do, I'm down to be resurrected. And I hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe.